Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy, one of the premier schools for investing and day trading education. Even Investopedia considers us to be one of the top online day trading schools. Very, very humbling. Want to talk a little bit today about the massive fraud that is going on in the gold and silver markets and why they're set to explode. This is going to be part one of a two-part series. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fundamental analysis of gold and silver. We've been talking on the Day Trading Academy blog to purchase gold and silver. In full disclosure, I personally own a significant amount of gold and silver because we do believe that it's going to do very, very well in the near future. What happened recently is Germany, the Bundesbank, the central bank of Germany, decided to start housing their gold within Germany. Obviously, as things have gone on since the 2008 and 2001 crises, so they decided to bring the gold home by 2020 and raise the amount held inside of Germany to 1/2 from 1/3. So they decided to leave the gold that they were going to leave in London, the UK and England, which represents about 13% of their total gold reserves. They decided to take back their gold from France, which was about 11% of their total holdings. And so the rest, which was in the United States, is what they had to get back. So they decided to take all of their gold back from France, and now they decided to take upwards of 300 tons from the United States. This represents their total holdings to be left in the United States from 45% to 37%. So this is really kind of a bit of a scandal, and this is really what kind of broke open the massive fraud that's happening with institutions and governments and even private companies as well. So the Germans, the Bundesbank, in 2012 decided to verify their gold holdings because they wanted to bring some of that back. Gold, yeah. So they decided to go to the New York and they wanted to verify the existence. They just wanted to see their gold, about 1,500 tons of gold. When they went to New York to verify that their gold was there, the New York Reserve denied them access just to see their gold. Now, the question is, why would the Reserve Bank in New York deny them access to see their own gold? It kind of begs a question, isn't it? France and the UK also denied them access in 2000 and 2001 in order to go ahead and verify their gold. And the question is, if their gold is there, why wouldn't they just let them see it? So eventually a deal was worked out between the Germans and the Americans, the Fed Reserve, that 600 tons of gold would be returned by 2020. Now, a year later, something very interesting happened because the Germans received only 5 metric tons of gold back so far after the year when they agreed to receive the 600 tons by 2020. And the gold that they actually received was not the gold that they originally put into the bank. Now, what does that mean? That essentially means that the gold that they originally invested, either one, is not there or disappeared because the amount that they received, the actual gold that they received, is not the gold that was originally there. Now think about that for a second. London and the United States does not charge in order to store their gold. But they had faith in the United States that they would hold the gold. So the last official audit of the gold reserves in the United States was 1979. So a 2012 audit of the gold by the Treasury of the United States revealed that only 419 metric tons of gold was left in the vaults. Now put this into perspective. There were 7,000 tons of gold that was placed into the Treasury of the United States, into the hands to be able to hold it as a reserve. 98% of that gold is gone according to the official audit of the Treasury of the United States. Understand that 98% of the gold that was held in that vault is gold from other countries. So there should have been 7,000. There's 6,581 tons of gold missing. So now the Germans, which had 45% of their gold in the United States, are saying, well, where's my gold? This has caused quite a stir in the international community because, a lot of people have stored their gold in the United States. Austria, for example, also expressed word that they wanted to see their gold. Other countries as well have expressed their concern. And so the underlying factor that we have to consider here, and it's not only with gold, but it's also silver. What has happened to all that gold if it's not officially in those vaults? Where has the supply gone? Right? It's because France and London denied the Germans to see their gold in France and London as well. It's safe to believe that the gold probably isn't there either. So the question is, where's all this gold? There's supposed to be all of this supply of gold in the world, especially in Fort Knox and the Federal Reserve in New York, and it's not there anymore. And this is now according to an official audit in 2012 of the Treasury of the United States. This is another one of the reasons that when this game is over, the price of gold and silver are going to skyrocket, because people are going to realize that there is not the same amount of supply in the world that everybody keeps saying that there is. Countries around the world want the world to believe that they have their reserves in the United States and other places, because it allows them to strengthen their currency. So when other countries start to receive their gold, Germany, for example, when they received their gold back, it didn't have their seal. It wasn't their gold. And so the excuse was that the gold was recasted, which means that the other gold that other countries around the world consider, 98% of the 7,000 tons of gold that should be there in the vaults, where's all that gold gone? And if they do receive their gold back, if it isn't the original gold that they deposited, where is that gold coming from? What we're seeing right now in the gold and silver markets is a massive international collusion, because they want to keep the prices low. As a day trader at the Day Trading Academy, we've been able to meet some traders here in Medellin, Colombia, where you can actually see the manipulation of price in gold and silver. China now has become one of the largest buyers of gold in the world. India has always, in history, been the largest buyer of gold in the world. And now Russia as well is starting to dump their dollars by buying gold and silver and other precious metals. There's going to come a point where the parties involved, which is most likely the West, the United States, other countries in Europe, big banks in the United States and the UK have already been caught for gold manipulation. They're not going to be able to manipulate gold anymore. And when the supply and demand actually becomes public, and we're actually able to see that the amount of supply is not the amount of supply that has actually been reported, the price of gold and silver is going to skyrocket. This doesn't even include things like, silver, for example, has industrial purposes. We use it in cell phones, computers, cars, all kinds of things. If I'm not mistaken, 1 year the United States Mint ran out of silver to sell. So, I just wanted to talk about that situation, that massive fraud that's going on right now in the world. It's going to come home to roost. So I do recommend that you look into good opportunities for buying and selling. Right now we are in July, beginning of July 2014. You just missed a great opportunity to buy. Silver just dropped below $19. We recently invested in the mining silver company called EXK out of Mexico. Made absolutely phenomenal results on that. So keep that in mind when you're going to be investing this year. Make sure you try to diversify your portfolio, and definitely look to invest in gold and silver. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave us a question here on YouTube. As always, you can always reach us at thedaytradingacademy.com. And as always, stay profitable.